The Social Development Department is launching Social Development Month in Joburg with the release of a parenting policy benchmark report. It's the first of its kind tool to measure how well South Africa is equipping parents to raise resilient children. Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Makhoali is following the story, joins us now. Veronica, good afternoon to you. Interesting that this is launched on the same day as the Constitutional Court has ruled that mothers and fathers can share parental leave. What's coming up there today?
And Stephen, this is exactly what the conversation has been about throughout the day. And this is about shaping and changing framework and policy to essentially equip parents essentially to have a better system where we are raising more resilient children, which of course in turn means more resilient societies. And the conversation around the Concord ruling speaks to just that it must be a shared responsibility in terms of how parenting is done in South Africa. And some people might think that, this conversation is not important, but it really is, given the fact that what we've heard coming out of the day, some of the key features being the fact that there needs to be more support as well from a government part in terms of how it helps parents, how it helps households as well. And of course, this involving all sectors of society, from education to policing to safety. It really is a community work in terms of what needs to be done to, of course, strengthen parenting in South Africa. But to speak to us a little bit more about the heart of the conversation today, and that is the Parenting Benchmark Report, I'm joined by the MEC for Social Development, Mayor Faith Mazibuko. Thank you so much for your time, and Mayor, I think first and foremost, talk to us a little bit about some of the key features that came out today. We know that we have organizations such as UNICEF as well as SASSA that gave their presentation, giving an outlook on parenting in South Africa.
What we picked up is that, especially if you look at Gauteng, you've got families or fathers that are always at work, they are never there, children are left on their own, and they tend to also to be up to no good tendencies. So the importance of this report is to say, how do we then handle or talk to our children? That acknowledgement that you have washed the dishes, congratulations. That acknowledgement that you have managed to clean or brush your teeth and do all sorts of things. But because half the time parents are not there, so children tend to be their own, and they tend to not be acknowledged that some of the things that they're doing. They end up learning bad habits through peers or other people. Gauteng right now, we've got a challenge of substance abuse. And you wonder, where does it come from? Many parents no longer even want to see their children in their own homes because they are sick and tired of a child who's permanently involved in drugs. So this report comes in at an opportune time. So that then in Zulu we say, if you start training them at this young age, to say this is wrong, this is right. As a parent, you play a role and you are part and parcel of the life of your child. Your child does not have to go and learn something from somewhere. And we hope also parents can also be involved in schools, because a lot of problems we're experiencing, the social ills and those that we're experiencing in schools, is because parents are now hands off. We now leave everything to the teacher. A child spends 90% of the time with the teachers. As parents, we only spend 10% of the time with the children. So the involvement of parents in each and every sector as the child is growing up, as the girl child is growing up, as the boy child is growing up. So that then that sense of belonging is also there, and that this child acknowledges that I come from a family. I was never picked up from a dumping site, but I was born and bred within a family.
And of course, this report also coming at a time where the Constitutional Court has ruled on the fact that parental leave must be 50-50, giving fathers, despite your sex, gender, circumstances, race, that there must be an equal opportunity for parental leave. Talk to us about the significance of that, MEC.
In fact, it is an exciting ruling, because fathers, they tend not to be playing any part in the lives of their children. Children, most of the time, as we know, that they are raised by mothers. But once such a ruling comes into effect, it means from the birth, the father is involved. As the child grows up, and nowadays, even abridged or unabridged birth certificate, it now requires you to write the name of the father of the child, which is progressive. So we hope that with this ruling, we'll see more fathers taking it's not a maternity leave. They will take a paternity leave and be part and parcel of the birth of the child And as the child takes the first steps, whether they say mama, that's why children say mama, they never say baba. But once these fathers are there in the lives of these children, I'm sure that we'll see progress. And as the child grows up, children having father figures in their lives, that is the most exciting part of it.
Certainly. Thank you so much, MEC, for your time. And Stephen, that as well, a big part of the conversation here today at the launch of that parenting benchmark policy report, the involvement of father figures in children's lives, which again was really stressed upon in terms of how this builds society. The issues, of course, the MEC was also bringing up was about young children often finding themselves in issues of substance abuse, gangsterism, and this is all because of just the lack in terms of parenting, and not only just the lack, but also the lack of resources often given to parents and the support as well. And so a crucial conversation at this time for our country as we reflect on the growing number of children who are also unsafe, children involved in criminality, and as well that lack of father figures in our homes and in society. Back to you, Stephen.
Veronica Makhoali, thank you very much indeed. Big focus today, of course, on parenting with that event where Veronica is and the Constitutional Court ruling. More on that, more conversations.